Hello, everyone. My name is Augustus Kligis, and warm welcome to the next Demo Mondays session. And Demo Mondays is a video series where we invite co-founders, founders, and creators of different Amazon seller softwares. And we ask them to present their tools and applications so that you can see how it works. And today's guest is Prestozon. All right, and Prestozon is presented by Ben Aldern. He's the co-founder of this tool. Hello, Ben.
Hi, Augustus. How's it going?
Everything is all right. So, can you quickly tell us what Prestozon is and what problem does it solve for Amazon sellers?
Yeah, Prestozon is a sponsored products tool that helps people spend less time on sponsored products and get more performance out of it. It's mainly aimed at private label sellers or consultants or anybody who uses sponsored products on Amazon. And our goal, our vision is to automate the whole process so that you don't ever have to touch sponsored products again.
And what kind of Amazon seller are you targeting with your software? Is it for beginners, for advanced, or middle sellers?
You know, we have people who get a lot of value out of it no matter where they are. So some people who are just getting into sponsored products, we make it very easy to see what's going on with your account. So you don't have to dig through the reports in Amazon, which can be overwhelming. But also people who have really large accounts and have been managing sponsored products for a while, they get a lot out of having a faster workflow to figure out what's going on and troubleshoot problems.
And maybe we'll see this in your demonstration, but can you just briefly tell us which marketplaces do you cover?
Yeah, we cover everything except Japan and China. So US, Canada, Mexico, Germany, France, Spain, UK, all of the European marketplaces,
All right.
India.
Okay, and we will review pricing a bit later, so we'll see how does it affect for multiple marketplaces. All right, I think so. At the beginning, you will show us a demo of your software, and then I know that you will demonstrate something else. Can you introduce shortly what will be in the end?
Yeah, for sure. We're going to use Prestozon to go over 3 common PPC problems and how Prestozon can help you zero in on those problems and fix them really quickly, whereas it would have taken you a lot longer without Prestozon.
All right, so I think we are ready to start with demonstration.
So this is Prestozon. We have a couple main parts: analytics, bid wizard, change history, and campaign manager. I'll go over each of those briefly. The main goal of Prestozon is to focus you on the highest impact changes you can make for your sponsored products to get the most performance out of it. So with analytics, the first thing that you want to do is kind of get an overview. And so we have these charts here. And you can see this is plotting ACoS. So ACoS is kind of steady. It's gone down a little bit recently in this account. And then we have spend and sales here. And you can add in other metrics if you want. So, you can look at how your impressions have changed over time. And if that's trending up or trending down, that's a really good overall account sign. Then you can go into Campaign Explorer and see how each of your campaigns ranks. We start by sorting everything by spend so that you can see the highest impact changes first. So, obviously, these 2 campaigns make up the bulk of the spend for this account. So that's where you'd want to start. The cool thing about Prestozon is that you can add in different levels of breakdown very easily. So, with the campaigns, you can see keywords under each of these campaigns, each ad group, see how those are performing and how those contribute to the top level performance of that campaign. And then we have all these other explorers that are really similar, but with different top level views. So the ad group breaks it down by ad group, and you can add in keywords pretty easily. Keywords, the same thing, except you can add in search terms, so you can see all of the search terms that are underneath it. So, for this auto campaign, we were getting all of these search terms. For this phrase top hat, we were getting all of these search terms. And then the Search Term Explorer is also my favorite part of Prestozon analytics as well. And this aggregates your search terms across all of your campaigns. So there's a lot of advice of how to set up accounts, and much of the advice is to set up many campaigns per SKU, like a broad and a research and an exact and an auto and like all of these things. So if you have all of your search terms scattered across a bunch of campaigns, you can aggregate them across all of them and then say, okay, this hat, even though it's in this search term, let's wait for it to, okay, yeah, like this one, wool top hat, we got impressions in 2 campaigns. And now we can see that even though in one of the campaigns, it had a 69% ACoS, the other one it had a 22% ACoS, overall it had a 25% ACoS. So this is a really powerful feature that isn't available anywhere else that I know of. And it makes it really easy to see which search terms are doing well and which are doing poorly. Then we can step into the bid wizard, which is kind of the magical part of Prestozon, where we generate suggestions for each keyword. So this one had a high ACoS, 41%, and we wanted to lower the bid from 50 cents to 38 cents to try to hit the target of 20% ACoS. So all you have to do is click that, hit apply one change. And it should just pop over to Amazon. It looks like demos never go as smoothly as you hope. But generally, this will just shoot over straight to Amazon, and it'll update your bid in Seller Central. If we go over to change history, this is the newest thing that we're releasing, which is all of the changes that you've made to your bids, either in Prestozon, outside of Prestozon, or with Prestozon automation. And so you can keep track of which keywords had, which bid and what the new bid changed to. Eventually, we'll have change history for negative keywords and keywords as well. And then in Campaign Manager, this is the fun part of Prestozon. So Prestozon's flagship offering is automation. Just refresh this page. So automation, you just turn it on and we apply these bid suggestions as soon as you have enough data to make this for us to generate a suggestion. So you set your target. This one's set at 30%. This one's set at 20%. Then all you have to do is turn on automation. And as soon as we get data in for a keyword, we say, okay, is this enough data to make a decision on a bid update, or should we wait for more? And as soon as we can make a decision, we'll update your bid for you. So you never have to worry about a keyword bid again, which is what a lot of people spend their time doing. And they make shortcuts like, oh, I only update my bids every 2 weeks or something like that. And this keeps on top of it so that you don't have to. So that's all of Prestozon right now. And it's just so fast once you get in the flow of analytics and then bid wizard, you can really quickly identify problems in your campaigns, and then zero in on how to fix them. You can push a lot of changes from Prestozon, and we're constantly expanding how much interaction you can have with your campaigns in Prestozon. So I think that's it.
And you mentioned that you wait for enough data to be pulled from Amazon servers. What is it, enough data? How long do you have to wait, or how much you have to run your ads?
Yeah, this is an important part of our process. So every day we pull the latest data from Amazon, and we aggregate it per keyword since the last bid change. So some keywords get, 10,000 impressions a day and 100 clicks, and there's a lot of data right away, so we can start making decisions after only a day or two of gathering data. Some keywords are not like that. Some keywords, you're getting 100 impressions a day, and if you try to make a decision every week on those, you might have like 3 clicks to go off of, and it just doesn't make sense. So for those, we wait longer. So it's a lot of work to keep track of every bid change and all of the data since the last bid change. But we think that's the best approach to managing bids well. It's like doing A/B tests with pricing, you don't just do the A/B test and then merge all the data together and then come out with like an average value, which is kind of what you end up doing if you download the 2-month search term report from Seller Central. Here, you can keep track of all of the data since the last bid change. And if we jump into, let's jump into one of these that had a recent, let's jump into this one. So this one doesn't have a recent bid change. The bid had always been at $2, and we had aggregated the data for that bid. And if you had changed the bid on, say, October 15th to $1.50, we would have stopped the aggregation, started a new one, and then shown you the data for the $1.50 bid since October 15th. And Amazon doesn't track your bid changes. So unless you're doing it in Excel or something, which is a huge pain, and I don't know anybody who does that just because it's so painful. Prestozon's a great way to do that. So no matter where you make the change in Seller Central or another piece of software, or you hire somebody, you hire a consultant to do it, or you have a VA who does it, or you make the changes from within Prestozon, we keep track of those bid changes and we aggregate your data for bid change so that you can wait exactly as long as you need to before an update, instead of, waiting too long for some, waiting too short for others, making suboptimal choices for most of your keywords.
Mm-hmm. And here on this screen, there is a tab called Search Terms. What does it do?
Yeah, so this shows you all of the search terms underneath that keyword. So right now we're looking at one keyword in the campaign magician's hat and the ad group hat broad group, and the keyword is black hat. And this shows you that during this time frame, September 30th to October 30th, we had these search terms show up under that keyword.
Mm-hmm. And I see, for example, this table has different colors: green, orange, red. Can you talk about all these numbers and how Amazon seller, let's say a beginner who just starting with PPC, how to understand this data and these colors?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks. So we have a couple of colorings. ACOS is colored by your campaign target. So the ACOS target that you set in Campaign Manager affects your color coding for ACOS. So if this one is set to, I think, 30%, so anything below 30% is green, 30 to 60% is orange, above 60% is red. And with click-through rate, anything below 0.2% is red, 0.2 to 0.4 is yellow, above 0.4 is green. And so this coloring is really helpful for people to say, okay, wow, I'm these red search terms right here with CTR, black hat women, black hat men, plain black hat. These are really low click-through rates. So maybe those are not good keywords to have. And if you wanted to, you could just hit this negative button, and then we'd push this negative keyword, black hat women, to the hat broad group ad group. You just click create one negative keyword, and that would push it to Amazon.
Mm-hmm. And can you show, so the campaign manager is kind of the only place where you can enter manually certain information, right? All other tabs are kind of read only.
Well, so if we go back to the bid wizard here, and you can change these bids if you want. So let's see here. I forgot to show you this. This shows the sum of the data since the last bid change. So this one says the bid was last changed 66 days ago. Since then, it's at $2,000 of spend, $5,000 of sales. So if you don't want to use the bid suggestion, you can just say, okay, this is what the data show, and then you just change the bid here. So there's you can always manually change the bid here and on the details page. So if we wanted to say the ACOS is at 41%, and we wanted to reduce that, say we try like 30 cents. Okay, and then apply one change, push it to Amazon, and now your bid for that is set to 30 cents. We'll reset the data collection and start collecting from today for that 30-cent bid.
Mm-hmm. And in Campaign Manager, can we go once again? What kind of editing can we do here and correction? Or
Yeah, so you can edit your ACoS targets. So if you wanted this to be a higher or lower target, maybe a higher target is good for, expanding your volume and like getting more sales, getting more clicks. So maybe if you had just launched something, you'd want a really high ACoS target. Or if you're trying to just make it profitable, you'd want to lower this target. So we could set it to 20%. And then you can turn on automation for that. Right now, well, in the future, we will offer the ability to pause and enable campaigns from here, as well as edit budgets. We don't have that at the moment, but that's something on our to-do list.
Could you shortly maybe tell about your future features which you are planning to release in the near future, so that if people sign up today, they know what they can expect? Maybe you can explain how it will appear in your software.
Yeah, absolutely. So like I said earlier, our vision is to automate all of sponsored products so that you don't have to do anything, or at a minimum, give you a lot of really powerful tools so that you can just kind of set it and then monitor it once a week, and just, everything will be flowing and you don't have to spend hours churning through search term reports and making bid changes and stuff like that. So really important things that we're extremely excited about are automating negative keywords. So searching through search terms and saying, okay, well, this search term hasn't made any sales. We've spent a lot of money on it. Let's make it negative. Keyword promotion. So going through search terms again, saying, okay, well, these search terms have shown for this SKU, and we want to make those search terms into new keywords in these other campaigns. And that's something people spend a lot of time doing in the search term reports, which you shouldn't have to do that manually. We can do that automatically for you very soon. And then, lots of other wizards, like very similar to the bid wizard, we're going to have these negative and, keyword promotion wizards where we make these suggestions. So if you don't want to automate it, you can at least have these tools to do it yourself.
Mm-hmm. And how do we set up or connect different marketplaces?
It's super easy. We use login with Amazon. So you just click sign in on Prestozon, sign in with your Seller Central login, and click OK. And that gives us permission for just one thing. We get your advertising API access. So it's not like MWS, where a lot of software requests access to MWS, which is Marketplace Web Services, and there's no restriction of access on MWS. So they get access to all of your sales, all of your inventory management, everything like that. We don't get that. We just get advertising data access. So you hit OK, we get the access, we start pulling in your data, it's all done. And if you don't want to use your primary Amazon login, you can always go into Seller Central, invite a new user. Say you can set up a new email like prestozon@yourcompany.com, invite that user to access your PPC account, and then sign into Prestozon and just use that to manage your account.
And do you have instructions on your website which permissions you need to set up for when you are creating such user?
We do, yeah. So we have a knowledge base of setup, and you can link multiple accounts to it. So it's a little bit easier if you have two accounts, like a North American and a European account. You can have one user manage both of those, so that here we have a drop down of accounts you can select, because this user that I'm logged in has access to several different accounts.
And the new marketplace is added by pressing on the person's logo at the top right. It's correct?
So we automatically get all of the marketplaces that account has access to. So whatever marketplaces you can see when you're logged into Seller Central are the ones that we're going to get access to. So if you have one account that has access to all of your marketplaces, that's what you'll see in Prestozon.
Mm-hmm. And can you shortly tell us about the pricing and how is it affected by different marketplaces connected to the app?
Yeah, absolutely. Right now we have two pricing tiers. There's a flat rate, which gets you access to all of the features of Prestozon. And this is a per account pricing. So if you have a North American account and you have a European account, those are two separate accounts. So you'll pay for each one of those individually. All of the marketplaces for each account are included. So if you have in your North American account, if you have Canada, US, and Mexico, all three of those are included in one subscription. Same with Europe. In your European account, you'll have probably 5 profiles, and those marketplaces are all included in that one subscription. And then the second part of our pricing is automation, and automation is 1% of sales for automated campaigns. So our mindset with this was that because you're not managing bids anymore, you're getting a lot of time back. Our automation can probably bring your ACoS down more than 1%. We've had a lot of success with people drastically reducing their ACoS with automation. So this is essentially adding 1% to your ACoS through the Prestozon pricing, but getting all your time back and possibly even paying for itself by reducing the ACoS by more than 1%.
So what is the price at the moment?
The price, let me open up our pricing page. So, which is everything that, all of the features that I just went over, all the analytics and the bid wizard and campaign manager, all of that is $27 per month if you have less than $1,000 in ad spend, $47 per month if you have between $1,000 and $10,000 in monthly ad spend, and $97 a month if you have $10,000 to $100,000 a month in ad spend.
Mm-hmm. And it is for each region of the marketplaces, North America or Europe. And automation, it says optional. So how do you switch it on or switch it off? And maybe in the software you can show which features will be switched off if you don't pay automation fee.
Yeah, let me come over here. So the automation is turned on in Campaign Manager. And as soon as you turn automation on, we're going to apply all of the suggestions for your bids. So that's this little toggle right here. That turns automation on. You apply that change. As soon as we calculate a suggestion for a bid update, we're going to apply that update automatically, so you don't have to worry about it. And then in Bid Wizard, you won't see any more suggestions because we've already applied them all. And automation is turned on a campaign by campaign basis. So if you have things that you don't want us to automate, that's fine. You can just turn on the ones that you do. And then a lot of users have used this to manage kind of the long tail of keywords so that they don't have to look at like 1,000 or 10,000 keywords and manage the bids for those. And maybe they have like 10 keywords that are really important for them and they want to manually manage those. That's fine. If you just have those in a separate campaign, you can manage those manually while we handle the rest of the long tail, so you don't have to worry about it.
Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, I think more or less everything is clear. And I was thinking, can you tell shortly to us about support? What kind of, what is the best way to get support by existing users, and how fast do you respond?
Yeah, so we handle all of the support ourselves. So you'll probably get me or Dana, one of the other. We have 3 co-founders, me, Chris, and Dana, and one of us will respond to you pretty quickly generally. You can either down here type a message here, or we have a little help box right here. And
sorry, I switched off your screen sharing. Could you share again?
Yeah, sure.
So we can see the support button.
So down here, there's a little chat window.
Okay, at the bottom right, we don't see because our webcams are blocking, but okay, it's clear.
Okay, yeah, there's a little one down there. There's also a little help tab right here. You just click that, you put in your email, preferably the email that you use to sign up for Prestozon. That makes it easier for us to track which account you're having problems with. And then subject, and just send us whatever you want. You can also email us at support@prestozon.com. We're really responsive, so and you'll get great help because we're all we want our users to be super happy, so we take very good care of our users.
And happy users, which of your feature, software feature, are the most happy about? What is the most popular feature?
I would say there are two really popular features. The Search Term Explorer is insanely powerful because so many people have campaigns, like 5 campaigns for one product. It makes it so hard to put the data all in one place. And we do that for you. You just go over to the Search Term Explorer, and then you can filter on campaigns, and boom, you have all of your data in one place. That's a very popular feature. The other popular feature is automation, because people have so many different uses for it. Some people just like, okay, great. I'm okay with my ACOS. I just want to keep it there. And, the market changes over time. So our automation will help stabilize your ACOS over time instead of letting it just like drift out of control. Some people put automation on and then have that hold a baseline while they, do experiments with other things so that they can not worry too much about messing up their whole account. Automation is just a great feature that I think a lot of people want, because managing bids is no fun. That's how this whole software started. Is I started managing bids for our PPC, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't be doing this manually. So I wrote some scripts. We turned it into Prestozon, and now it's expanded a lot from there.
Great. You can, I think, stop sharing the screen, and I wanted to know what's the deal? Do you have anything to offer for Demo Mondays viewers?
Yeah, absolutely. 1 free month subscription. Just use the code DEMOMONDAYS when you check out.
And now you will show to the audience how to troubleshoot 3 issues with PPC, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do it.
All right, so let's look at how to use Prestozon to troubleshoot 3 common issues in Amazon PPC. The first is search terms that are costing you money. We want to make them into negatives. Second one is with campaigns that maybe you don't have a lot of keywords in. You want to look and see what search terms are popping up that you can make into new keywords. And then the last one is just an overall account evaluation to see where we can get some extra performance out of the account. So the first thing we're going to go to is the Campaign Explorer, and this is a really important view. This shows you, your spend and sales for the campaign over this time range. So right now we're looking at the last 30 days. And so you're always going to have like most of your spend and sales in the top couple, and then it kind of trails off. And so the Prestozon is structured to help you focus on the most important things that you can do. So we always sort by spend, because that's where you want to save the most money, and that's probably where most of your sales are coming from too. So this Cape Broad campaign seems to be having some issues. The ACOS is at 96%, so that's not good. So we'll just click on the Cape Broad campaign, and then we'll go to the Keyword Explorer. We only have 1 keyword, so we want to expand that and see which search terms are popping up there, because the search terms are where you're going to find bad performance. So pretty much all of the sales are coming from this Dracula cape. That's getting us 22% ACOS. That's great. It's actually one that we might want to make into a positive keyword as well later, because we're only running this 1 keyword in this campaign. But then we have all these other ones like blue cape, capes, short cape. Those all made no sales and we spent money on them. One thing that we might want to do here though is we have another campaign that's running these cape ads. So we'll add that into the mix here too. And this is one of the coolest parts about Prestozon Analytics, is you can add in as many campaigns, I think like 20, 25 campaigns up here, but like if you focus on the ones that have the same SKU, then you can aggregate across all of them and find out how those search terms perform across all of the campaigns. And that's really what you want, because the customer has the same experience if they search on black cape and they show, and they, that click is towards a keyword in the broad campaign, or if that click is towards a keyword in the exact campaign. It doesn't matter to the customer. So what you want to do is evaluate search term performance across all campaigns for a single SKU. And so, so we can see that, this blue cape, no good. So we're just going to make this negative. We can do this in a couple ways. If you click the negative button, it shows up. So this search term blue cape only shows up in the broad campaign broad group. And if we want to make that negative exact, all we have to do is create one negative keyword here. There we go. So creation successful. Successfully created keywords for Blue Cape in one group. That's all done. We can just go down the list and like create those as we want. If we just click this lightning bolt, it'll just apply the default settings and create that in all the ad groups that it shows up in. And boom, boom, boom. Done. So I tend to not want to negative out things that make sales, even if they have a high ACoS, because we can manage that with bid. So what I would do here is take adult cape and long cape and vampire cape and make them into their own keywords in the exact campaign, and then negative them in the broad campaign and manage them with the bid in the exact campaign. And, you know, for the vampire cape, I'd probably start this, you know, 64% ACoS or 64 cent CPC is getting us a 144% ACoS. So I'd probably want to start it at like 10 cents or 15 cents and see if we can get some more performance out of that. Cool. So let's move to the next thing that we want to look at. We'll go back to the Campaign Explorer and make sure these are all minimized. Now we want to find positive keywords for a campaign that doesn't have many keywords in it. So let's go to this Magic Wand campaign. We only have one campaign advertising Magic Wands, and we have only 5 keywords here. So we want to expand that a little bit. So we'll go to the Search Term Explorer, and we have a bunch more here that are making sales. So, you know, Magic Wand Wooden, Magic Wand Harry Potter, Wood Magic Wand. You know, I'd take all of these and put them back into the campaign as keywords, as probably exact keywords, and then start the bid at, you know, these look like they're all running around like 40 cents. So, you know, for these ones, I'd keep it at 40 cents, and like maybe for these down here, you know, start. Ooh, this is $1.18, so maybe start that at 40 cents. Maybe start this one at 10 cents, and then you'll have a bunch more keywords in your campaign, and you can manage everything with bid instead of having to manage these buckets of search terms that have some search terms that are high performance, some search terms that are low performance. With one bid, you can manage it with a whole bunch of bids. We don't have a feature to automatically put these into keywords in Prestozon right now, but it's something we're working on, and we're really excited to release it soon. Alright, so let's get rid of this, and we'll just do an overall account thing. So like, say we don't want 29% ACoS, we want to just get it down as far as we can. I just always start with the top 1 or 2, and you know, if we want to, so this Magician's Hat is really where the bulk of our spend is, you know, 5-6 grand to spend there. So let's just search on these. Magician's Hat research. So let's see what's coming up here. Search Term Explorer is my favorite tab. It just gets you like the really important data. Search terms are what this is all about. Keywords are basically just buckets for managing search terms. And so, yeah, we can see we have a bunch of high performance stuff up here. So this top hat, not so great. We have some ASINs that are showing up. So like this, we mark these ASINs with a little Amazon logo here, and if you click on this, you can open up the Amazon page and see what it was. Kangaroo black hat. You know, that means we were showing up. Sometimes they have, I guess they're not showing them now, but they sometimes have sponsored products related to this item. Yeah, same. We can click on this one. Yeah, okay, children's magic costume. So these we weren't having a really great conversion rate, and it might be worth. You know, you can't really negative those out, but like if you negative kangaroo or costume or something, that could work. I think probably in this case, let's take a look at just how this research campaign is doing. Yeah, you know, 54%. Probably just lower the budget and maybe lower the bid and see if that can bring the ACoS in line. If a research campaign isn't performing very well, that's okay. You can just lower the budget. That probably means that you've already extracted most of the important search terms out of it. So let's go back and add in the other magician's hat. So we can see that we do have a couple keywords in here that are not doing great. So black hat, no good, 59% ACoS. So if we click on this little magic wand here, it takes us over to the bid wizard where we can see the performance of this keyword. And right now we've got a bid of $2, and so far for the last 62 days since we reset the bid, we're at 69% ACoS. That's not good. So we'll probably like reduce this to $1. Boom. All right, so now that's set at $1, we restart this experiment, and that means that we restart data collection. So you know, next time you log in, say you check in every week, you know, you'll have 7 days of data for this $1 bid, and you can see if that's performing any better than your $2 bid performed. This one, yeah, so that we already talked about lowering the bid and budget. Right now we've got a bid of $1 for this auto campaign. Maybe reduce that to 50 cents or something. This top hat one, 32% ACoS, how can we get that down? Let's go into the bid wizard for that too. So this one, we changed the bid from $1.50 to $1.80 12 days ago. And it looks like that's been running at 26% ACoS over the last 12 days. So that's better. You know, you see sales like started coming up, spend didn't go up a whole lot. So maybe we can, I don't know, 26% might be too high for us. So maybe instead of $1.80, we want like $1.60. See if we can like zero in on something here. Cool. So if you want to get rid of the filtering, you can just see, you know, what your most important keywords are. You know, okay, this cape one, that one doesn't look so good. So, yeah. So maybe we can lower that one to like 40 cents. All right, cool. And then, you know, we added some negative keywords, so some of these will get taken out as new data comes in. I think like that was a good number of changes. We'll see some performance increases over the next couple days, and we just kind of like went over the whole account there.
All right, Ben, thanks a lot for this presentation. I hope a lot of people got idea how Prestozon works. And someone is actually asking in the chat, any integration of headline search ads planned for your software?
Yes. We support headline search ads. We're seeing a lot of our customers getting a lot of benefit out of running them. We did have a conversation with Amazon, maybe their headline search ads, and we're working with them to know exactly when they do that and support it as soon as possible. So hopefully Prestozon for HSA will be available as soon as Amazon rolls out the API.
Mm-hmm. And also Tihomir would like to challenge you, and he's asking why he should choose Prestozon over PPC Scope. PPC Scope is another software in the industry.
I mean, I have a lot of reasons why I like Prestozon more than PPC Scope. And a lot of customers of ours have said that, it's a lot cleaner of an interface. It's very fast to understand where you're going and drill down. PPC Scope has a lot of individual tools, but you have to know what you're looking for. And, it takes a while of using PPC Scope to understand how to use it really. And we want people to, as soon as they log in, be able to find the biggest problems in their account and fix those problems immediately. Also automation. PPC Scope doesn't currently offer automation for bids. And we're planning on expanding to automating keywords and negative keywords as well. I don't know if PPC Scope is planning on doing that, but between the cleaner interface and the automation, and also the ability to aggregate search terms across ad groups and campaigns. That's a really, that's just a hugely, hugely powerful analytics feature, and we're the only software on the market that offers that.
And do you have any plans to integrate AMS?
AMS is our most frequently requested feature, and we would love to support AMS as well. Again, we're working with Amazon. It seems like they have the ability to support it with an API. We're working to get access to that API and then support AMS. So I can't offer a date where we will do that, but we continually talk with Amazon, and we have a great relationship with them, and we want to make sure that all of their advertising customers are supported through Prestozon.
All right, yeah. So AMS is still not ready technically from the Amazon side, so we have to wait.
Right.
Great. Anyone who is interested further to hear about Prestozon wants to contact Ben. So Ben, what's the best way? Is it support@prestozon.com?
I would say you can email me directly at ben@prestozon.com, or you can email team@prestozon.com, and that'll go to the whole team.
Great. Thanks a lot for being here, and good luck in your business.
Thanks very much.
Bye-bye.